Hi, Paul here from Trekitt. Harry and I have come up to our local woods because it's much nicer than being stuck inside the shop. It's a lovely day, so we thought we'd come out today and talk to you about the new Osprey Rook 65. Excuse me. This is new for this season, the Osprey, and it is a sort of versatile, tough, comfortable, well ventilated backpack that's designed to give you everything you need for a comfortable carry and some good load bearing without emptying your wallet. So it's not right at the top of their price tree. It's sensibly priced to give you that comfort and ventilated carry that you need. It's all pivoted around this airspeed trampoline back system, but we'll go into that later. And it's really aimed at those people who just want to lug some load around in ventilated comfort. So it's great for backpacking, toot toot to you and all. It's great for backpacking, DV use, group use, individuals, multi-day, hut to hut, wherever you need to carry 2 to 3 or multi-days kit around with you. This is the perfect bag that's not going to break the bank. So what is the Osprey Rook 65 made from? Well, to keep it simple, they've used a 600 denier polyester fabric throughout, and that gives great durability without being overly heavy, but it is tough enough to withstand kind of the daily rigours that you're going to put it through. It's a nice tough fabric, it's got a nice matte finish, and it's also treated with a DWR, so that's a durable water repellency. So light rain, snow will bead up and run off this treated fabric, but please bear in mind that the pack isn't 100% waterproof. So if you've got things inside that you need to keep dry, my advice would always be to use dry bags to keep your stuff dry, protected and organised. But we'll have a look at that later when we get inside the pack. So that's it, nice tough polyester, withstand years of wear and tear. Okay, so let's have a look at the features. Now, like I said earlier, this isn't kind of one of their all singing, all dancing packs, so you just get really what you need with this pack. So let's start at the bottom, we'll work our way up and we'll go through them one by one. Harry will do some close-ups of the individual features later, but we'll just do a quick overview here now. So starting right down at the bottom, you have got a rain cover built in. So it's a nice, if I can get it out, here we go. God, it's a bit tight in there because I've got the bag well packed. So there you go, you've got a nice fluorescent green rain cover with a reflective Osprey logo on. Now this is held in place with a little toggle, so if you don't want it you can remove it, or if you're getting it out and it's particularly wet and windy and horrible, you're not going to lose it, it's not going to blow away. So there's your rain cover. Like I said earlier, the pack isn't 100% waterproof, so if it is tipping down with rain, great idea to get that over the top to protect the contents or use dry bags. Okay, so in the base compartment, I've just unzipped that. You can see you've got an internal divider here. It's a fairly simple affair, held in place by these webbing straps and buckles, sorry. So if you don't want it there, if you just want one large compartment, you can simply unthread the buckles and just let that hang down, and that will give you full capacity all the way through without the divider in place. Moving up, you've got these two straps on here. At the moment I'm using these for compression, just to keep this load balanced and in place, but if you had, say, a bulky foam roll mat and you wanted to attach that to the outside of the pack, you could simply slacken these off, create a loop, pop your mat through there nice and easy. Or if you don't need them, you don't want them, you can unthread them and detach them completely, save yourself a little bit of weight and a little bit of strap flap. Is that a phrase? Anyway, pockets wise, so looking on the side of the pack, you've got these large water bottle pockets, mesh pockets overlaid with that polyester fabric at the bottom, so where the pocket's getting wear and tear, it's well protected, and then you've got the lighter weight mesh on the top. And the thing I really like about these pockets, I've just grabbed my trusty Trekitt water bottle, is that they will take a bottle nice and easily at the top, but when you've got the pack on, sometimes that can be a bit awkward getting the bottle out. So there's another opening on the side here, and the bottle will go into the pocket that way. So when you've got the pack on your back, it's much easier to reach under your arm here, get the bottle out, just slide it out. Really clever little idea, great feature, love that. Then you've got two hip belt pockets, big 3D pockets on the hip belt that don't lose the capacity when the hip belt's done up nice and tight. Handy for keeping, things you want to get at nice and quickly, like maybe some power gels, food, snacks, compass, that kind of thing. Okay, so moving back up the side of the pack, you can see you've got these two compression straps on the side. As the name implies, they're there to compress the load, hold it in place. Particularly useful if you've got like a half full bag. Maybe you're just going out for a day, you've taken some of the contents of the bag out, but you still need to carry some stuff with you. You can just pull the capacity of the bag down, reduce the capacity with the compression straps. Also handy for attaching walking poles down the side here. Put the handle of the walking pole into the pocket, put the poles up through here, lock them into place. And the thing you'll notice about the bottom strap here is that it's attached directly to this part of the hip belt. So if you pull that one in nice and tight when you've got the pack on, it really locks that load onto your hips and gives you fantastic stability. So not only does it compress the pack, it gives you added stability as well. Okay, so you've got pockets on the side, pockets on the hip belt, and then you've got a big zipped pocket up at the top, right up at the top of the pack. So I've got in here, I've got some spare hats and gloves, bits and pieces like that. I've got my water filter, penknife, head torch. You can see my little dry bags here, keeping things nice and dry. And also you've got a key clip here. I've got my car keys attached to that, so if I'm getting stuff in and out of the pocket, I don't lose my car keys. Much as I like walking, I wouldn't want to walk home. So there's your big pocket up at the top. Now inside the pack you've got a hydration sleeve, so you can slide your hydration bladder in there, and then the tube will come out the top here, and you've got a little elastic loop on either shoulder strap to feed the tube down, your hydration tube, to whichever side you want. Also up on the top of the pack are these 4 little accessory cord loops. So if you wanted to, you could put some like 2-3mm accessory cord or some bungee cord, create some extra storage on the top here. You want to strap maybe some crampons on if you're going out in winter, or maybe just some other, maybe put a rope over the top, capture that with the cord, whatever takes your fancy. And those are replicated down the front of the pack here with these 3 larger cord loops on the front. And again, if you had some bungee cord, you could construct some kind of storage on the front here to maybe hold like a wet tent fly sheet or something. And the other thing you can do with these is that you can attach the Osprey daylight packs onto the front of the pack, giving you about another 10 to 15 litre storage. So if you're doing some world travel, for instance, and you had all your kit in here, you wanted to go off for the day, your little daylight pack would be sat on there, take it off for the day, leave your big pack at the hostel, the hotel, wherever your accommodation is. So it just gives you a lot more versatility, some added storage options on the front and on the top. Now obviously the main feature of any rucksack is its back system, so that'll be the next section. We'll move on to that and go into that in greater detail, but that's your main feature set. Not massive, you know, they haven't gone over the top, but there's everything that you need there for your general hiking and backpacking. Okay, let's move on to the back system. This is the Osprey Rook 65, and Osprey have supplied us with their fantastic ventilated airspeed back system. Now, any backpack is only as good as its back system. That's the bit that comes into contact with you. That's where it's suspended off your body. So it has to work, it has to be comfortable, and it has to fit. Those are the 3 sort of main criteria. The airspeed back system is kind of a trampoline back system. We'll do some close-ups of this, but basically this is the contact area on your back, and then you've got a gap between that contact area and the pack itself, and that's formed by this light wire external frame here. So you've got a lightweight wire frame that springs the pack into a slightly curved shape. Then you've got the straight mesh here which creates that airbag, so you get loads of ventilation. Now it's not going to stop you from sweating. Only some really nasty and complicated surgery is going to do that, but what it does do is it does provide lots of ventilation. So provided you're wearing good layers, good fast drying base layers and mid layers, you're not going to get that horrible clammy cold back syndrome, and you're going to keep well ventilated throughout. And it's quite unusual to find a sprung air mesh back system on a pack of this size. So I think Osprey have done a really good thing here, created a pack that's designed for long-term use with heavy loads, but you still got that loads of ventilation and stability thanks to the frame. So all of the contact points, so your hips and your shoulders, are using a nice soft mesh covered foam. The mesh is there just again to help with breathability and with comfort. So like today I've just got some light layers on. I don't particularly want sort of big stiff fabrics up against me rubbing onto my shoulders. So this is nice and light and soft and comfortable. Whilst I've got that in my hand, you'll notice that you've got a sternum strap here, again just to help to balance the load, with a built-in whistle, and that's adjustable for 3 positions. Simply a toggle and loop system here to adjust the sternum strap up and down. The hip belt also features a forward pull belt, so the buckle sits in the middle and you pull either side. It's much easier to pull the straps forward than it is backwards, to really lock that onto your hips so that load bearing is done properly and it's locked into place. And then to keep things simple, sorry, excuse me, a bit of hay fever. To keep things simple, Osprey have supplied this in one size only, so there's no different back lengths on here, but it is adjustable, and it's a really simple, easy to use adjustable system. You've basically got the shoulder harness is suspended again on a light wire frame that hooks into the main body of the pack. You literally just pull out these pegs at the side and you can see that that moves up and down. We'll do a close-up of this later, and then you just pop the pegs back into the loops corresponding with the back length that you need. So really super easy to adjust, and once it's done, it's locked into place, it's not going anywhere. Really simple. I really like this actually. It's a nice simple idea, easy to do, not complicated, not lots of buckles and levers and things to twist and turn and velcro to get your hand down. It just pull, just plug it back in, nice and simple. And then depending on where the back system is, so if you're right at the top, your top tension straps would attach to these buckles here. If you're shorter in the torso and you're right down the bottom, there's a lower set of buckles here to thread the top tensioners too. So you can get that load balanced really well. So this will fit just about anybody who's capable of carrying it. Obviously I wouldn't strap it to a 2-year-old, but you know, they might struggle with the weight. But it will fit most torso lengths. And please bear that in mind, that the back length, your back length isn't relative to your height. So to give you some idea, I'm 6'3", but I would normally use a small to medium in back lengths because my torso length, the measurement from my hips to my shoulders, is quite short. It's about 47, 48 centimetres. So all of my height basically is in my legs. So even though I'm 6'3", I've got a short torso. So we'll put a link up here, or is it up here, Harry? Which one is it? That one, thank you. It's up here, says Harry. We'll put a link how to fit a rucksack properly. Go and have a look at that. It's really important. It's as important as getting your boot fit right. So make sure you go and follow that link, go and have a look at the video, make sure you know how to size your pack properly. Okay, so that's it. That's the back system. Air sprung, ventilated, comfortable, stable, everything you need really. Perfect. Okay, so there you have it, the Osprey Rook 65. Just a really practical solution for your backpacking and travel needs. It'll cope with just about everything that you need it to cope with. It's got a really nice, comfortable and supportive ventilated back system. It's got enough features to carry the extra bits and pieces that you want, and to make sure that your travel and your backpacking is going to be comfortable. I was just going to give you a quick idea. Obviously this bag is full. It's not full of padding, it's full of actual stuff, my actual stuff. So just to give you an idea of what we've got in here, I was just going to unload it and go through so you can see. So up in the top here, spare hats and gloves. And then in here I've got compass, head torch, Sawyer water filter and my Garmin GPS. Clunk, broken GPS maybe. Under the lid, wash, here we go. Nice and easy to get into. I've got my over trousers, I've got my waterproof jacket, I've got my jet ball stove with the lid not very secure. That will get in the bloopers. I've got my Exped Sinmat Ultralight. I've got my first aid kit and pack towel. I've got some spare clothing, and I've got a couple of freeze-dried meals in there as well, just to keep it all nice and warm and dry and safe. I've got a tent. Admittedly, this is quite a bulky tent, but as you can see, it's in there. Tent poles, always pack them separately from the fabric because it means you can squash the fabric up more, so they just go down the side of the pack. And then right at the bottom of the bag, in the base compartment, where it generally always goes, is my mountain equipment sleeping bag. So that's enough stuff there for 2, 3, maybe 4 days travel, and it's all fitted there nice and easily, nice and comfortable to carry. Yeah, so there you have it. So I will sign off. I'll pack all this back up, might even go for a little hike. So yeah, as usual, any questions, any comments, please pop them in the section below. And Harry will put a link up to the product as well, so you can geek out on all the full details if I've missed anything out here. And yeah, it's just been a pleasure as usual. Good to talk to you guys, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot. Toodaloo.